we all can get help from it. It's ways to get help from it. It's always, like you said, it's ways to cope with it, different ways to cope with it. But I would say, like, in a black community, we all would think, okay, if we have issues like that, where do we turn to? Like, oh, we don't really want to go to the doctor, or we really don't want to go, we don't really have the resources to reach out to someone like a therapist. And something like that. So what type of advice would you give them besides?
Well, I mean, it's a simple answer. We got to turn to each other.
Turn to each other, right?
We don't trust anybody else with that information, right?
Right, because it's like, some people be scared. Oh, I don't feel comfortable sitting in front of a therapist.
Okay, but I'm your homeboy. You trust me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's your homegirl. You trust her.
Right.
So we got to start with each other. We're always talking about uplifting each other in the black community and, building and this and that. Well, it starts there.
Right.
So if I'm going to have a good friend, then you really going to be my friend, because I don't take that word lightly. So we're going to be friends. Then that means that I should be able to trust you with this type of information. I should be able to come to you in all vulnerability and transparency, and say to you, this is what I've been thinking about. The reason why I get away from everybody is yada yada yada, this and that. And so it starts with us. So we have to, and then also we have to pay attention to the signs. Why is this person habitual in smoking? Why does he have to smoke all the time, all the time?
Right.
So we have to pay attention, and then sometimes we have to start asking the questions.
Okay.
Like, what you going through?
Yeah. Just be there for someone.
Because I mean, we've all done it when we seen one of our friends. He was happy and all in love in this relationship, right? And then the minute we see him put his head down and he's just kind of off to himself, we'll say, "Hey man, what you going through? You going through something?" We recognize that already.
Right.
That he's going through something. You see what I'm saying? So maybe it has something to do with his relationship. So when you see a person that's excessively drinking all of a sudden, or just excessively throughout over time, hey. Yeah, I noticed you used to get a bottle and share it. Now you just got a whole bottle to yourself now.
Yeah, or you pulling up and the bottle half empty already.
Absolutely.
Like, dang, what going on?
Absolutely. And then, or if we're sitting around talking, you fidgety and you got to go get it. So what's going on?
Because most people, like, they won't be happy unless they have the drink or unless they have the smoke.
Correct.
Or they aggravated. Oh, I can't really function without it. And then, like you said, once they get it, and then it's over, now they back to reality. The problem's still there.
Right.
That ain't go nowhere. Then it's all the problem.
And then people get tired of the reality. Could you imagine just being constantly reminded of your trauma over and over and over again for years? And then you realize that I've been drinking for years, but my trauma's still there. It's still there. I'm still having these thoughts.
Right.
So eventually it becomes overwhelming, and then those people become homicidal, suicidal,
right.
Addicted to drugs, so promiscuous, all these different types of things, and it all stems from not addressing your issue. So again, you may not have the resources, you may not have the funds to talk to anybody or to see a professional, but
it's always to have a good friend.
Yeah, because who knows you best?
Yeah,
the therapist don't know you.
The people that's around you.
Right? Who knows you best?
Yeah, right.
Who knows your parents? Who knows what you've gone through? Who's seen you grow up? Who knows that there was a bigger drug addiction in your family and this and that? Who knows that? The people that's closest to you, your friends.
Right.
So I would say it would start with me, but that's just the type of friend I am. That's just the type of person that I am.
Right.
So I would say that I would actually have to make myself inviting enough for a person to want to come to me.
Right.
So you have to watch that, because a person who sits around and complains and talks about other people. It tells that person I can't go to them with my business. Right. Because you gonna spray everything I got. Absolutely. So that's why I say you have to make yourself inviting enough or welcoming enough for a person to feel comfortable, because they're like, well, Carlos, he don't talk about nobody. Everybody else is sitting around here gossiping and stuff, but he's just kind of off himself. He really doesn't say much. And he really doesn't even tell his own business.
Can you pull up? I just know the feeling when I feel the true love. You already know you can get what you want. I can change your life, you with scrubs. You just like that vibe, come and can you pull up? I just know the feeling when I feel the true love. You already know you can get what you want.